tourist's camera captures an 8-year-old girl standing just feet away from Africa's most feared lions, the world holds its breath. These 5 lions, known across the Serengeti as the Ghost Pride, have haunted Tanzania's wildlife reserve for months. They've charged at cars, ambushed rangers, and sent 4 men to the hospital. After their most recent attack left a senior ranger fighting for his life, officials made a painful decision. The lions must be put down. But before the sharpshooters could move in, Amara Okafor slipped away from her father and walked straight toward the pride's battle-scarred alpha male. What happened next would shake the world of conservation to its core, because beneath the violence and fear, there was a truth no one had seen, until a child stepped forward. Behind the Ghost Pride's rage was a history of trauma, poaching, poisoning, betrayal, wounds no one noticed, until now. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And if stories like this grab your heart, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow's episode is one you do not want to miss. As the sun rises slowly over the Serengeti, veteran ranger Lorato Kumalo steps outside, her breath visible in the cool dawn air. After 20 years in the field, she still pauses to take in the sacred silence before sunrise. She checks her rifle. Not just ceremony anymore, but survival. Command to Ranger 1, radio check. Ranger 1 reading you loud and clear, she replies, her South African accent crisp and steady. Her partner Daniel climbs into the passenger seat, bandages still wrapped around his arm from the last encounter with the Ghost Pride. "You sure you want to do this?" Lorato asks. "I need to see them again," he replies quietly, "to understand." They drive in silence, the land glowing gold as the day begins. Zebras scatter. In another time, Lorato would have smiled. Now she scans the horizon. "There," Daniel whispers, pointing toward a patch of acacia trees. She raises her binoculars. 5 lions lie in the shade. One lifts his head, a dark scar slashing across his face. "That's them," she confirms grimly. The Ghost Pride. Back at the reserve headquarters, Director Sophia Chen studies aerial photos and attack reports. "These incidents, they're escalating," she says. "They were part of the Capio Pride," explains behavioral ecologist Dr. Josephine Bennett. "No signs of aggression before. Then, suddenly, everything changed." "What happened?" asks Minister Ibrahim Osie, flown in for the emergency. "Drought, poachers, snares," says senior biologist Samuel Okafor. He places a photo on the desk, a lion's mangled paw, torn by a wire trap. "That's Scar," he adds. "He was caught months before the first attack." They link pain to humans now, Director Chen realizes. "Not just pain," Samuel says. "They're targeting ranger patrols, not tourists. It's like they're hunting us." The minister's voice sharpens. 4 rangers down, 1 tourist nearly dead. The press calls them killers. The removal team is cleared to act. "You mean execution?" Samuel pushes back. "I mean protecting human life," Ozie fires back. "My job is to keep people safe." "We still have options," Dr. Bennett says hesitantly. "We've tried relocation," Chen replies. "They came back within days." "Give me 1 week," Samuel pleads. "I have an idea, something we haven't tried." "You've got 5 days," the minister says, walking out. At the Capio research station, just 10 kilometers away, a young girl sits cross-legged, flipping through wildlife books far too advanced for her age. Her name is Amara Okafor. She's 8. With her father's sharp eyes and her late mother's unshakable will, she takes notes in a journal decorated with lions. And soon, this little girl will walk into the history books by walking straight into the jaws of danger. The cover of Amara's journal features lion cubs. Her pencil moves steadily as she copies notes far beyond her grade level. Her mother, Grace, appears in the doorway. "Packed for the trip tomorrow?" "Almost, Mama," Amara replies, eyes still locked on her book. Grace walks over and peers at the complex diagrams, predator posture, tail language, eye contact. "These are your father's research notes," she says softly. "I want to understand the lions," Amara answers. "The ones everyone's scared of. Papa says they're not evil, just scared." Grace's expression shifts, worry tightening her face. And he also says those lions are dangerous. You are to stay far away from them, Amara. Promise me. Amara finally looks up, her eyes holding a quiet intensity that often unsettles grown-ups. I promise to be careful. That's not what I asked, Grace says firmly. Before the conversation can continue, the rumble of an approaching vehicle grabs their attention. Through the window, they see Samuel's Land Cruiser kicking up dust. Moments later, he bursts through the door, face taut with urgency. They've given us 5 days, he announces, breath-catching. 5 days to find a different solution before they put the ghost pride down. Grace moves to embrace him. Oh, Sam, I'm so sorry. Amara rises from her pile of books. Papa, can I help? Samuel pauses, caught off guard. For a moment, something flickers in his eyes, something he doesn't say out loud. No, Grace says sharply. Absolutely not. It was just a thought, Samuel replies quickly, though the thought clearly lingers. The next morning, 10 kilometers away, danger stirs. At Lake Azizi, once a rich watering hole, the drought has left a shrinking pool. As twilight fades, the ghost pride emerges from the brush. They move like shadows, graceful and starved. Scar, their alpha male, leads with his head swinging low, scanning. Nala, the eldest female, stalks silently beside him, ears twitching. Taji, the younger male, follows closely. Zuri and Amara guard the rear. They're not just a pride. They're a unit, silent, strategic, bonded by trauma. A startled gazelle freezes in their path, then bolts. Taji instinctively gives chase, but Scar growls, a low warning. Tonight, they're not hunting gazelle. They've picked up the scent of humans. Half a kilometer away, a ranger team sets up camp. Laughter echoes around the fire, unaware of the 5 predators watching from the tall grass. John Mwangi, the senior tracker, suddenly stiffens. Listen, he whispers. The laughter dies. I don't hear anything, says Esther. Exactly, John replies. No insects, no birds. The savannah is quiet. Lorato slowly reaches for her rifle. Form a circle, backs to the fire. The rangers move instantly, trained but tense. They scan the night, but see nothing. Maybe it's a leopard, Patrick whispers. Maybe, Lorato says. But her rifle stays raised. 2 on watch. No one sleeps through the night. They don't see the 5 pairs of eyes watching, an ambush that never comes. The ghost pride withdraws, but not far. They're studying. They're waiting. At sunrise, the energy couldn't feel more different. At the reserve's visitor center, 20 kids from Weber Village gather for their school field trip. Posters of giraffes and elephants decorate the walls. Excited chatter fills the air, but Amara stands off to the side, watching a video monitor displaying live feeds from the reserve. One screen shows lion territory in the eastern sector. Who's ready to see giraffes today? Calls out Sarah Ndlovu, the bright-eyed teacher. Cheers erupt, but Amara doesn't move. Her eyes remain locked on the screen. Her father kneels beside her. Remember your promise to Mama, he says. I know, Papa, she replies, finally looking at him. Stay with the group. No wandering. He studies her, as if searching for something behind her words. The education route is safe. Double escorts, just precaution. Because of the ghost pride? Amara asks, too innocently. Yes, he admits. But they're 5 kilometers away. They've never gone near tourist zones. They're not monsters, Papa. No, Samuel agrees softly. They're survivors. The kids board 2 safari vehicles, open-sided, reinforced, safe. Amara takes the rear seat in the second one. Her father watches as the vehicle pulls away, concern etched into every line of his face. 6 kilometers away, tension still rules the land. Lorato's team continues patrol. The night passed quietly, but sleep deprivation and fear are taking their toll. We can't keep going like this, Esther says, scanning the bush. The minister's authorized removal, John informs them. Sharpshooters arrive Friday. Patrick shifts uncomfortably. It doesn't feel right. These lions were peaceful once. They made their choice, Lorato says flatly, though doubt flickers across her face. She's torn between her orders and what she feels in her gut. And just then, movement. 2 o'clock, Esther whispers, binoculars raised. All 5 lions are moving parallel to us, roughly 300 meters out, John announces, eyes fixed through binoculars. Lorado lifts hers, confirming the worst. They're not just following, they're herding, driving the ranger team toward the very same ravine where Daniel was attacked weeks ago. We should call in the helicopter extraction, Patrick says, hand reaching for the radio. Lorado hesitates. Years of instinct as a conservationist clash with her duty to protect lives. Not yet, she decides. We divert northwest toward open plains. They won't risk an attack without cover. The land cruiser veers sharply. The lions follow, silent, focused, adapting. They're learning our playbook, John mutters, adjusting. Then suddenly, Scar sprints. Not toward them, but across their path, cutting them off. The rest of the pride fans out, corralling the rangers toward a narrow stand of trees, a perfect ambush site. That's it, Lorado says, grabbing the radio. Command, this is Ranger 1. We are being tactically engaged by the Ghost Pride, requesting immediate helicopter support. Coordinates transmitting now. But as that call goes out, something else is happening on the opposite side of the reserve. The school tour vehicles have paused for a scheduled break. Kids pile out into the safe zone, stretching, laughing. No one notices right away that the group is short one child. Amara Okafor, her backpack strapped tight, has slipped away, heading straight toward the lions. Hey, before we continue, if this story has you on edge, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, what happens next is unforgettable. Now, back to the story. Overhead, the helicopter blades roar through the morning sky. Pilot Michael Stevens surveys the terrain below. Sprawling grassland, deceptively calm. I've got eyes on you, Ranger 1, he radios. All 5 lions are visible. They're moving like a tactical team, coordinated. Below, Lorado and her squad stay locked in formation. The helicopter's approach slows the lions, but they don't run. Scar looks up, unbothered by the rotor noise. They're not even flinching, Esther whispers. Normal lions flee from helicopters, John says darkly. They stopped being normal months ago. Michael flies a low pass, performing textbook deterrent maneuvers. Any other pride would scatter. Not these lions. They shift back slightly, maintaining line of sight, still watching, still planning. I'm setting down 50 meters from your position, Michael announces. Prepare for immediate extraction. The Rangers begin their move, but the radio crackles again. Emergency at the western perimeter, a panicked voice says. This is Sarah and Lovu. We've lost a student from the school tour. Repeat, missing child. Female, age 8. Lorado freezes. Identification? She asks, dreading the answer. A moment of silence. Then, Amara Okafor. At the administrative center, Samuel Okafor hears the same words and goes pale. My daughter, he whispers, eyes wide. She planned this. Director Chen is already on the move. Mobilize all teams, redirect aerial surveillance, now. The Ghost Pride was last spotted 6 kilometers east, Minister Ozier notes. Dr. Bennett's voice trembles. That puts them between Amara and the rescue teams. Samuel bolts for the exit. Amara moves with quiet precision. She consults a hand-drawn map, scribbled from weeks of secretly overheard radio chatter. She stays low, crawling through the tall grass, keeping her silhouette hidden. From her backpack, she pulls out a worn field journal, pages filled with lion communication signals, drawings, patterns, observations beyond her years. A low thrum of the helicopter in the distance makes her crouch lower. They've noticed. Her timeline just shortened. She climbs a rocky outcrop for a better view. Through her small binoculars, she surveys the savanna, traces a path with her finger. She knows where they'll be. Back at the research station, Grace Okafor paces, phone in hand. The door bursts open. Elder Wami enters, breathless. They told me, he says. The searchers combed the entire western quadrant. She's not there, Grace replies, voice trembling. She's gone. "She's gone," Grace says with quiet certainty. "She's gone to find the lions." The room falls into stunned silence. "Why would she do that?" someone asks. "Even a child understands how dangerous they are." Grace walks over to a shelf and pulls down a stack of drawings, Amara's. Dozens of pages, each one filled with astonishing detail. Lions mid-stride, ears angled, tails curling, accompanied by notes about posture, vocal tone, and intent. She's been trying to understand them, Grace whispers, not just observe. Understand. Samuel taught her since she could hold a pencil. But this obsession, it started after the first attack. Amara was convinced the lions weren't monsters. They were misunderstood. Elder Wami leans in, studying the drawings. "In my village," he says, "we speak of children born with the knowing, the ones who see the world differently, who hear nature in ways others don't." "She's just a little girl," Grace whispers, her voice cracking. "A little girl with an old soul," Wami says softly, "but even old souls can walk into danger they don't yet understand." The reserve shifts into crisis mode. Samuel jumps behind the wheel of a 4x4, speeding across the plains with reckless urgency. No more careful driving, no time. His knuckles grip the wheel white, his eyes scan every inch of the horizon. Suddenly, a dust-covered figure waves him down. It's Marcus Walsh, the wildlife photographer who's tracked the Ghost Pride longer than anyone alive. "I heard the call," Marcus says, climbing in. "I've seen their patterns, their territory. If anyone knows where they'll be, it's us." "If you were Amara," Samuel mutters, "where would you go?" Marcus doesn't hesitate. "They were heading northwest after the last encounter. If they stay that course, they'll pass the seasonal stream near the old baobab." Samuel's foot hits the gas. "That's 4 kilometers from where she vanished." "Not impossible," Marcus says grimly. "Not if she had a head start." Meanwhile, the Ghost Pride moves through the savannah like shadows, methodical, deadly, calm. Scar leads, flanked by Nala and Taji. Zuri and Amara cover the rear. They pause at a dry depression where water once flowed. Cracked earth, drought-stricken land. Survival has sharpened them, hardened them. Taji paws at the dirt, nothing but dust. Scar lifts his head, nostrils flare. He smells something, something unfamiliar, yet not threatening. He pivots without sound. The others follow. Under the scorching sun, Amara reaches the ancient baobab tree. Its wide trunk offers brief shelter. She drinks carefully, rationing her water like her father taught her. She lays her palm against the grooved bark to steady herself. And then she hears it, a sound not heard with the ears, but felt in the bones. Slowly, Amara turns. 50 meters away, Scar emerges from the thorn brush. Massive, scarred, watching. Behind him, the lioness is spread out, a formation that has terrified rangers and soldiers alike. Amara doesn't scream, she doesn't run. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a notebook. She opens it to a specific page, and then she kneels, head down, posture calm, not in fear but in respect, a body language no human has ever offered these lions. She's not a threat, she's not prey, she's something else. Back at reserve headquarters, the tension is electric. Live drone feeds and infrared maps cover every screen. Director Chen takes a radio call from the helicopter. "We have a visual on the Ghost Pride, Sector 5, 3 kilometers from the child's last known position." Samuel's voice cuts through the chatter. "We're closing in from the south, ETA 6 minutes. They're moving faster than you," Chen replies tightly. "Reposition the chopper. Cut them off!" Then, finally, Minister Ozier speaks. "Authorize sharpshooters, now!" "No time," Dr. Bennett snaps. "They won't arrive in time. Use the helicopter," Ozier orders. "The pilot's certified." He has rifles on board. Chen nods reluctantly. "Priority is the girl's safety. You are authorized to use lethal force if the lions threaten her." Bennett pales. "If she runs," she says quietly, "they'll chase. Predator instinct." "If she stays still," Chen asks, "it might buy us a few seconds." "And if she walks toward them?" Bennett's face goes blank. "Then God help her. At the baobab, the silence is sacred. Scar stands motionless, watching. The lionesses don't move. The wind stirs dust. Amara doesn't flinch, doesn't breathe. She's holding a posture that speaks in a language almost forgotten, one that whispers, I see you, I don't fear you, I know you. And the ghost pride doesn't attack. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts below. The next chapter might just change everything we thought we knew about nature, fear, and trust. Scar advances, 30 meters away now. Close enough for Amara to see every detail of his scarred face, the matted fur surrounding the wound that gave him his name. The lionesses remain at a distance, their eyes trained on their leader. They're waiting for his decision. Amara holds her submissive posture, then slowly she exhales. Not a scream, not a human cry. It's a sound lions know well, a soft nasal puff, a greeting cubs use when approaching dominant pride members. Scar halts mid-step. His massive head tilts. He's confused, but curious. Amara doesn't move fast. Instead, with the precision of someone who's studied this moment for months, she turns her body sideways, smaller, non-threatening, eyes down. Submissive, yet steady. Seconds stretch into an eternity. Then, Scar sits, not in preparation to pounce, but to assess. That's when the distant hum of engines rumbles across the plains. Scar rises instantly, a growl vibrating deep in his chest. The lionesses reposition, surrounding Amara once again, defensive now, not aggressive. She speaks, calm but clear. No, stay back. Samuel's vehicle crests a rise. He slams his foot to the floor when he sees her. His daughter, standing alone beneath a baobab tree, surrounded by 5 of Africa's most feared lions. No, 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 he breathes, panic setting in. Marcus in the passenger seat raises his telephoto lens. Wait, Samuel. Look. He zooms in, and what he sees leaves him speechless. The lions haven't attacked. They've formed a semicircle around Amara, facing outward. They're not hunting her. They're protecting her. They're guarding her, Marcus whispers. From us. The helicopter arrives, slicing through the air. Pilot Michael Stevens positions above the scene, ready to execute standard lion deterrent maneuvers. But this is no ordinary pride. Scar doesn't flinch. Instead, he roars at the helicopter, a sound so fierce it rattles the sky. Amara throws her arms up, not in fear, but to signal, don't come closer. She's trying to keep them calm, Marcus mutters, still filming. She's communicating with them. Samuel skids the vehicle to a halt, far enough not to provoke. He raises his binoculars. His hands are shaking, and what he sees defies everything he's ever known. Amara isn't being stalked. She's been accepted. She's inside the pride, in the spot where cubs would be, at the center, the safest place. Pull the chopper back, Samuel yells into the radio. She's not in danger. I have orders to extract the child, the pilot replies. Samuel's voice sharpens. She's safer now than she would be with us. Look at the lions, they're protecting her. The pilot hesitates, then slowly rises, giving the lions more airspace. As the noise fades, the tension breaks. Scar relaxes again. The lionesses lower their heads. And Amara? She steps forward. With the stillness of trust, she extends her hand and touches Scar's mane. The lion leans into her, like a house cat leaning into affection. Marcus lowers his camera. My God, he breathes. She's not just safe, she's one of them. Back at headquarters, Director Chen's voice cuts through the radio. Do you have eyes on the child? Samuel answers slowly, not looking away from his binoculars. Yes, we see her, and they've accepted her. Stunned silence, then, accepted? How? Samuel watches his daughter now sitting cross-legged beside Scar. The lionesses come closer, gently nudging her. Not a threat, curiosity. Welcome. She's part of the pride, he says, like a cub. The sun reaches its peak over the Serengeti. The harsh light reveals a scene no camera, no textbook, no ranger has ever witnessed. A child, in the heart of a lion pride, not as prey, but as family. And in this sacred moment, the relationship between species shifts. Not out of fear, not through dominance, but through trust. "I need to get closer," Samuel mutters, still staring through the lens. Marcus grabs his arm. "Don't. The engine sound could trigger their defense. She's my daughter, and right now she's safer than any human has ever been with lions," Marcus replies. "Just look at her. Her body language, calm, centered. She knows what she's doing." The radio crackles again. "Samuel," Director Chen says, "Minister Ozie wants an immediate extraction plan." "Tell him to wait," Samuel replies. "Something's happening here that none of us can explain. And if we interrupt it, we may never understand it." "We've got sharpshooters inbound," Chen says. "ETA 20 minutes. "No sharpshooters," Samuel says firmly. "If you send them in, we lose everything." They're not attacking her. They're accepting her. As researchers scramble to understand what's unfolding, Dr. Bennett asks Samuel to describe what he sees. Fighting his fear, he slips into scientist mode. A pride of lions, once feared as man-eaters, now surrounds a young girl, his daughter, without aggression. Scar, the dominant male, allows her to touch him. The lionesses investigate her with curiosity, not violence. Near the baobab tree, Amara speaks to the lions in soft tones, mimicking their body language and vocal cues. She offers dried meat, not as bait, but as a peace offering. One by one, they accept it, even Scar. In the operations room, stunned silence. Live footage confirms it, an 8-year-old feeding lions by hand. Dr. Bennett is speechless. This defies everything we know about predator behavior. Grace, Amara's mother, arrives and gasps at the sight of her daughter safe among predators. Elder Wami, watching beside her, nods knowingly. Some children are born with the gift of understanding the wild. Amara begins examining the lion's wounds. "They're not angry," she says. "They're in pain." Samuel approaches on foot. The pride reacts, but Amara calms them. "It's okay, that's my papa." Step by step, Samuel follows her exact posture. When he finally reaches her, he crouches beside her in awe. "How did you know they wouldn't hurt you?" "Because they're scared and hurting, not monsters. Just misunderstood." Amara explains what she learned, watching hours of ranger footage, listening to every briefing, and understanding that the lion's aggression started after poachers' traps and painful medical captures. She suggests a daring plan: lead the lions to the conservation station for water and medical treatment. Samuel relays it to Director Chen. After hesitation, the minister approves, on one condition: total oversight and no mistakes. With Amara leading, the ghost pride follows, 5 lions walking peacefully behind a child. Staff and rangers watch in disbelief. The lions drink, accept treatment, and rest. Amara helps the vet calm them. They tolerate sedation, accept medicine, and even allow injuries to be cleaned because they trust her. The story goes viral. Conservationists around the world take notice. This is no longer just a rescue, it's a revolution in predator rehabilitation. Over weeks, Amara helps re-socialize the lions to humans they can trust. The plan evolves. Release them into their former territory, gradually, carefully. On release day, the lions hesitate, then step into freedom. But before disappearing, Jabari turns, looks back, and nods at Amara. A thank you, a goodbye. 3 months later, they return, quietly approaching the reserve boundary. No aggression, no fear, just presence. A connection remains. A bridge has been built. Today, the ghost pride thrives. The drought has broken. Prey has returned, and so has trust between humans and predators. Amara now teaches other children what she's learned, that lions aren't monsters, they're listeners. Survivors, and if we listen too, we can coexist.